What's going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful day for another 7-round Vikings mock draft. And, of course, this is not NAM. There are rules here. So as our things are laid out, Darnold leaves in free agency. Re-signed Daniel Jones, backup J.J. McCarthy. Reisner, Beasley, Murph, they gone. Harrison back. Gillard retires. Basically, it's the template that we got. Seems very reasonable. What's going on? Aaron Jones, Cam Akers back in the running back field. Got James Daniels, can play center or guard. Will Fries plays one of the guard spots. On Wuzariki and DJ Jones. You got the instant pass rush. Carlton Davis, the third on the outside, round the outside. Mike Hilton in the slot. And now we're into the draft. Here we go. So basically, checked a lot of boxes. Oh, also, Beasley leaving. Theo Jackson, you're a starter. Let's go, baby. All right, so a lot of things going on here. Starting draft, enhance. All right, so recap what the hell's going on here. We got Abdul 1, Cam 2, Hunter at 3, Shador. Ooh, Shador take a tumble? Where'd he go? Tet, Barron. Man, Jahdae Barron's going to be good. Hottie Campbell goes to the Saints. Genti goes to the Bears. Mike Green to the 49ers. Malachi to the Dolphins. Membu to the Colts. Oh, I like that. As they're looking to replace Will Fry. Well, Brayton Smith, probably. I don't know. Akuba, Buka, Will Johnson, Derek Harmon. Just Shador Sanders on board? Wow. I mean, I'm buying that he could take a draft day tumble, but that's interesting. So we got a couple trade offers. I wonder if any of them are about Shador. All right, so the Rams, Eagles, Giants. Giants are probably coming up for Shador. Titans maybe as well. I mean, the Rams are offering a trade down, but it's only 2 spots, so you're not going to get a lot. Let's see who's on the board real quick. So Michael, Nolan, Shamar Stewart, Physical Freak, Hampton, Jalen. Now, if we're going to drop 10 spots, it's got to be worth it. All right, so let's see what the Giants have to say. The Giants have your typical allotment. The Titans, the Titans don't have a 3rd-round pick. Interesting. All right, so Giants, hey, if you want this pick, go rip your eyes out. All right, so 2, 3, 4, future 4. No. 2, 3, 3, future 3. No. Say no. All right. So 2, 3, 4, and a 7. And a 6. There you go. Offer trade. Enhance. One more time. They're just saying no all over the place. All right. So there we go. So the Vikings did move down 10 spots. They picked up a 2nd-round pick. They picked up 34, a high 3rd-round pick, high 4th-round pick, and we're off for the races. There we go. All right, so Jalen Walker still on board. TJ Sanders, Tyreek Williams, turned down for Watts. Trey Amos is there. Hairston could be a 1st-round pick. Same thing with Emin Wari. Ravel as well. Booker, of course, is our guy. So there's a lot of options in this spot. I just want to see who's there at running back. Because I kind of feel like Wheelan and Dealing Kevin Nealon. Judkins is there. Does Judkins get to our next pick at 65? Probably not. Caleb Johnson is also there. All right, so let's groove this thing a little bit. All right, so I want to trade, but I want to trade 65 up for a couple spots. And who is there? All right, so say Panthers at 58. So we want to come up, and we will attach. No, yeah, they definitely want to move down too. All right, so we'll attach 248. Enhance. All right. We're back. We are so back, babe. All right. So now here. So the fact that the Vikings checked a lot of boxes really gives them freedom to do whatever the hell they want. I mean, Emin Wari makes a ton of sense in this spot. Hairston, I know had a great combine, but Emin Wari definitely did himself some favors too. So Emin Wari, 6'3", 220, All-American, downhill, 86.8 PFF coverage grade, 4 picks. We call him 6'3" Bob Sanders. The Cam Chancellor, the comparisons are there as well, so bring him on in. Now we're going to hit up a running back at 58. Scadaboo is there. I know. Scadaboo, Sampson, Caleb Johnson, Henderson. Wow. Everyone is there. What are we going to do? What should we do? So I know that people are against Caleb Johnson. I think he fits perfectly with what the Vikings want to do with outside zone. Trevon Henderson, the Dalvin comparisons are there. The Jamal Charles comparisons are there. Judkins is power. I really like Judkins' game a lot. So it is kind of, pick your poison in this spot. But we're going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go with Quinshon Judkins. So Judkins has that power, packs a punch, formerly at Ole Miss. Last year transferred to Ohio State. Him and Henderson were a fantastic duo. And the Vikings just need that edge. The Vikings just need that power. They need that, hey, 3rd and short, 4th and 1, goal line, red zone. Judkins brings that. So I like that a lot. All right, so Emanwari, Judkins, bringing attitude on both sides of the ball. It's going to be good. Now, so sitting here chilling, we definitely want to partake of defensive line in both of these spots. Let's see here. Defensive line as well as offensive line as well. So there's a lot of ways to go here. I know we like making these mock drafts a little bit different every single time, but the talent pool at center is just really shallow. All right, so Jared Wilson. I know that Jared Wilson we draft all the time in 97. Also, I think that he's going to go a shade higher. It wouldn't shock me at all if he's a second-round pick, but Jared Wilson, I think, is the guy that you bring in as a set-it-and-forget-it starting center, right? And Wilson, one-year starter for Georgia. Don't knock them that much, but a good punch leverage, good anchor as well. So I think Jared Wilson comes in, and I think he threatens Bradbury right away because remember Bradbury's contract not guaranteed. So you got Daniels and Fries at the guard spots, and then you got Jared Wilson at center. Let's go. All right, 134. All right, so we got 134, 140, 161. Do we double up on running back? Like, do we get our own smash and down? Ooh, Brashad Smith is going to be there. I mean, do we just take Smith? I mean, we do that a lot, Smith, Mills. All right, so we're going to do our normal thing where I want a back-to-back so I can get multiple guys that I want right now. All right, so we won't do that. All right, we'll add some nice, but you got to give us some nice back. What's our pick? 161 and a future 5. Future 4? No, 5. All right, so packaging 140 and 161 for 135, 3 7th-rounders, and a future 5 and a 7. Offer trade. One more time. All right, there you go. Chris Greer, let's go. All right, so now we got like a buttload of picks again. But we are going to go back-to-back. So Brashard Smith, the pride of SMU, formerly at Miami, wide receiver, running back, kick returner, scat back, offensive weapon. You can do it all, man. It's got speed, can catch, slippery, quick, all that stuff. So Brashard Smith, welcome on in. So we got thunder and lightning. Kind of like that. Now we're certainly going to partake along the defensive line. And so Riley Mills, I understand he's coming off that knee. You definitely want to get that checked out. Obviously, didn't do anything at the combine, but Mills is missed. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying that Notre Dame wins over Ohio State in the Natty, but if Mills had been out there for the final 2 games of the playoffs, it certainly would have been a lot closer. But with Mills, he's 6'5", 291, size, violence in his hands, your classic 5-tech, power rush, 34 pressures, 7.5 sacks last year. Like, he will set the edge. He will get pressure on the quarterback. He's not going to be your twitchy 5-tech, but you want someone who's rock solid and can push the pocket, and Riley Mills is going to be that. Knocking on all that wood that knee's going to be good to go, but also it's probably one of the reasons why he's available in the late 4th like this. So Riley Mills, you are a Viking. Good times, man. All right, so now we got 3 7th-round picks, which, again, we've explained, like, Rick Spielman's thinking. Ooh, Luke Lachey. Yeah, why not? All right, so Luke Lachey, you're a Viking. Just snatched right away. In the 7th round, member tight end you. All right, so now what do we do here? I definitely want to double dip on defensive line. We could take Cross. Although, didn't Cross test or do the fullback drills, which is awesome. I kind of love that. Slackman, Blah, blah, blah. All right, so Thor Griffith. I like Thor Griffith a lot because he's immovable. You know what I mean? Harvard, then went to Louisville, 17 pressures, 3 sacks, 84 run defense grade last year. Thor Griffith, you are a Viking. You're pairing up with, well, also, I mean, his name's Thor, right? You know, like a guy, Thor Nystrom. Like, if your team name is the Vikings and there's a player named Thor, you should just get him. I mean, you should just be giving him, actually. All right, so lastly, what do we do here? So Rocket Sanders there, but we already doubled up on running backs, wide receivers. You know, we could take our normal Jalen Lane, of course, but I don't know. Like, do we take Brew McCoy? It's possible. I mean, again, it's so tough to judge these Tennessee wide receivers. I mean, Dante Thornton Jr. obviously has all the physical tools, but Brew McCoy as well. You know, he's 6'3", 220, you know, physical, good hands. He didn't test great. Had some injury concerns. Yeah, we're gonna pass him. Let's double down offensive line. Who do we got? All right, so Aaron Smith could take Alston, Marcus Ware I like from Montana State. Go Bobcats. But we are going to go. Where are we gonna go with? All right, there you go. Joshua Gray. So Gray, a little bit older of a prospect, sure. 6 years at the Oregon State. Left tackle, left guard, 6'4", 310. Did work in some center at the Combine, which is noteworthy. But I think he'd be a rock-solid set it and forget it guard. Probably as a backup to begin with, maybe works his way up. But 12 pressures, 3 sacks in 2024, adding some depth to the Vikings offensive line. So overall, pretty happy with how this damn thing turned out. Of course, I have to be because it's my mock draft. But all around me are familiar faces, worn out places. All right, so recapping what happened in free agency, all that. So basically the Vikings checked a lot of boxes. And then a little trade down in the draft, a leap of faith, but the Vikings get Nick Emenwari at the top of the second round. So after Beasley left, Harrison is back, but probably at a reduced role. Theo Jackson in that mix, but Emenwari, dude's just going to hit. He's got range as well. I think the Cam Chancellor comps are well-founded, and Brian Flores got to be happy there. And then running backs-wise, we got Judkins and Brashard Smith. That's going to be fun. That's going to be Thunder and Lightning, our own version of Sonic and Knuckles. That's going to be good. And also, you do have Akers and Aaron Jones back as well, so you got a nice mix along the running back room. They got Jared Wilson as well as Joshua Gray in the offensive line, so hammering on that interior. And also the Vikings, you know, Bradbury is back, but it's possible that Wilson wins the starting center job. You got James Daniels, who also has center flexibility, and Will Fries as the 2 guards. And then you got Riley Mills. Hopefully that knee is good to go. He may be on the pup. You know, he may have a redshirt year, but having that talent as a 5-tech, you're going to be good to go. Thor Griffith as a pass rushing nose. Run stuffer first. And then we'll just go from there. But basically, the guy just doesn't move, which is going to be good. And then Luke Lachey from Iowa, adding some depth to the tight end room. Vikings are low-key needing of some tight end depth, especially what happens with Munt. Already lost Nick Muse, so we'll see there. But overall, I mean, trade down, getting some more picks, making some maneuvers, getting your own guys. Kind of like how this damn thing turned out. But your thoughts are thoughts. A Viking 7-round mock draft. You know what it is. Skull, production value.